And just like that, we begin 2026. I was going to put a hat on, but they're over there, and I don't want to get up. What's up, Hokies? Clyde and Mayor Lely. Lely, thank you so much for the super chat last night over on King's Advisors. I really appreciate it. Man, soon this is going to be a lot fuller. It looks a lot better than it did this time last year, but I'm hoping, maybe no rope. Okay, we can do rope. We can do rope. Hang on, Lely. Better? Order the court. Let's get that gavel out. There we go. That's better. How are we doing tonight, guys? Gals? We got a lot to talk about. For once, I think I'm going to beat Jay to a whole bunch of stuff. Because he didn't go live this morning. So that'll be fun. The coolest thing is the Minnesota Vikings have announced that they are changing the name of their team. The Minnesota Vikings have been around for 70 years now, and they've decided to change the name of their team from the Minnesota Vikings to the Minnesota Somali Pirates. I think I think this is really going to help embolden this rich on purpose group of immigrants we have in this amazing country of immigrants. So yeah, you go ahead and heart that. Oh, I did that wrong. Can I? We're going to fill around with this for a second. Exactly. You can't beat them because then you're racist. Why is it that when I share my screen and then remove it, it goes full screen? I don't want it to go full screen. I want it to go to this. What if I remove this? Hang on. No, cancel. Manage layouts. Disable. Okay. Add to the stage. Now remove. No, it still does that. Oh, well, wait. What if we do this? Okay, well, that's probably what we'll just start doing. Shift 1. Can I change the hotkey to that? We're going to learn some stuff while... Does the escape key work? No, I don't think it does. Nah, Steam Deck. I've got one, but it won't do what I want to do exactly. So let's change this to just 1. So if we're sitting on this, right? One. Oh, hang on. I might. Let's remove that and that. Exit. No, it's still it. That's fine. All right. I'm just having to use a hotkey. So annoying. So I saw this circling around yesterday. It was a map of it was a map of the United States, and it showed what states have duty to retreat laws. Now, a duty to retreat law, what that means is before you can use violence in self-defense, before you can shoot somebody, you have a duty to try to get away. Now, the courts will decide whether or not you've made a reasonable attempt to remove yourself. You know, some courts might decide that, let's use a bar fight, for example. If you're clearly in Nebraska, Minnesota, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, and Maine, those are the 11 states. In those states, if you are in a bar fight or something like that, in order to use self-defense, in order to fight back and not get in trouble, you first have to try to leave the fight. What that means is, you know, if you're sitting there at the bar and, you know, he comes up, grabs you from behind, you have to basically do everything you can to get away before you can fight back. I don't have to, because that beautiful, beautiful blue state right there does not have duty to retreat laws. Fucking losers. Oh, and Hawaii. Of course, Hawaii does. Mm-hmm. That's funny, I think. Oh, now I gotta make sure I'm on that screen so I can. Oh, I wanted to. Okay, I've been saving this. I've been saving this video because I want to watch this with y'all. One of my favorite. So I've been rewatching a lot of Everybody Loves Raymond in the last like 3 or 4 weeks. Right when it came over, or right when December or November became December, I was a little burnt out on Christmas movies because I started in November. I started on November 1st. And I used to not, you know, for me, it was always December 1st and then the day after Thanksgiving. Well, last year, I started doing, or I guess 2 years ago now, actually, I started doing Christmas on November. And it just felt better. I just liked it more. So this year, I got burned out, like I said. But one of the things I love about television is there's so many different Christmas episodes, especially if it's a long running television show, that you can kind of get a whole lot, and then you get sucked into the show and all that. There's this episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where Marie and Deborah are fighting over a Christmas letter that Marie's gonna write and tell everyone, this is what we've done this year. Yeah. I think this is a girl. I'm not positive, but I think this is a woman. She's reading her husband's rich, out-of-touch family member's annual holiday letter. Let's watch and enjoy.
It's time for my favorite part of the year, where I read the newsletter, a real newsletter that is sent to us.
First off, I haven't watched this yet. If something pops out right here, I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm sorry.
Every Christmas from my husband's rich aunt and uncle who are wildly out of touch with reality and what's going on in the world. I opened it and it was a card and I was scared there was no newsletter, but there is, guys. The gold paper. Here we go.
Honestly, that's kind of cool. Wait, let me pause it on
there is, guys. The gold.
That, I mean, it's kind of like an old a medieval letter with the gold filings on the side. Oh, I did want to point out, first off, big old gap up and bottom.
There was no newsletter, but there is.
Hang on. Let's see if I can pause this right.
Guys.
You see all the black in her mouth? These are all fillings. She needs to brush her teeth.
The gold paper. Here we go. It's lengthy. Hello and happy holidays, everyone.
Okay, they're already way out of touch because they said happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas. Though I will say, so I've never had an issue with happy holidays because for me, it always included Christmas and New Year's. It was never a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa thing. It wasn't that. It was Christmas and New Year's. So it's two holidays. That's how I've always looked at happy holidays.
2025 was the year of houses. The first sentence. Keep it together. It's a long one. Name redacted, moved from her home of 33 years to her new apartment in Silver Springs Senior Living Community in Green Valley.
Okay, I mean, that's not so you've got, I'm guessing, a grandmother, maybe because remember, it's her husband's aunt and uncle. So yeah, probably her mother-in-law or something sold her house and moved into a senior facility.
Through a lifetime of memories is challenging, but she kept important possessions and sold the rest in an estate sale. Enlisting a horde of assistants, she fixed up the house and yard, and despite a tricky housing market, managed to sell it in May in less than 2 weeks. She loves Silver Springs. Is that the name of a Fleetwood Mac song? Is it about that? Sorry. And promptly adopted a cat named Lucy. Mom has the same phone number, and then she lists the new address.
Yeah. So her mother-in-law. No. Her grandmother-in-law. Yeah. Her grandmother-in-law sold her house that she's lived in for 33 years. So this is, she bought this house. I'm going to have to do math here. In 1993. She bought this house in 1993. So there's no way that she did not make a killing on this house.
Okay, next paragraph. One of our I budget groceries. Okay, one of our favorite San Francisco condos was vacated. And we made the decision to sell. After painting, new carpet, lighting, appliances, window treatments, and miscellaneous repairs and improvements, we got it on the market. Again, it was tricky, but we got an offer and closed in early December. Now, if we could just sell the GV rental, I don't know what that means.
What is a GV rental? What is a GV rental? All right. I highly doubt it's a Gulf Stream. It's definitely something over in California because that's, yeah, a Grand Valley. Yeah, maybe. What's up, Isaac? I mean, so far, this isn't really that out of touch. It's definitely a weird letter. First off, letters that are about like your monetary stuff, I think are kind of weird. But the only weird part about this so far has been them explaining like the exact stuff they fixed up.
Okay. In April, we hosted a mini reunion in Arizona.
Okay.
Uncles, names redacted. They listed everyone. Who cares? I wasn't invited. We did lots of reminiscing, traded tons of pictures, and ate. Jerry took some to the courts to try their hand at pickleball, and had a really good time. Pickleball, of course.
I'm with her on that. Pickleball is fucking stupid. It is the most retarded thing ever. We already have tennis. If you're not good at tennis, I'm sorry. Go play something else. You don't need to shorten the court, make it a dumber sport. Like, I hate pickleball. I hate it. I'm sorry if y'all like it. I hate it. But I played tennis, so that's why I hate it.
Sorry, I forgot to redact Jerry's name. Oh well. Come springtime, we had the first of 2 road trips this year with.
Okay. There's a Grass Valley, California, up in the Sierras, and they don't say that. And don't say that about pickleball around Cole Hauser. I'll tell him. Oh, Isaac, 100%. I mean,
Our car club aficionados. Despite not having high expectations in a cold snap that passed through, we had an amazing time in El Paso. A walking tour given by a 3rd-generation El Pasonian, and this is in parentheses, and personal friend of Laura Bush. Who fucking cares?
I mean, that's actually kind of cool. Like, you're just sitting there and you meet a guy that's like on first name terms with former first lady. That's kind of cool. I would tell people that.
Also, like, there were no Native Americans down there in Texas. Of the old downtown area, revealed American
3rd generation has lived in that city for was that 150 years, and that's native enough.
art, amazing architecture. We were treated to an insider's tour of the art museum, and a couple of amazing dinners topped it off. An original Hilton hotel is there, and it's stunning. In October, we did a 2-night trip to Prescott with a more interesting back roads and discovered the enormous copper mining industry to an extent we didn't know existed. Again, we had a walking tour, learned the story of Whiskey Row, and took in an HOF blues show at the Historic Theater.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just like, hey, this is all the stuff I've done. This is basically what the YouTube look back and Spotify look back and all that. It's basically all this is.
In July, Redacted took a quick trip back to Minnesota for her 45th high school reunion. It was great to see, reminisce, and reconnect with some of the old classmates again. She and a couple of old gang try to Zoom every 6 weeks or so. Does anyone remember our fight song? No, I'm half a century younger than you. We continue to partake in most of the Quail Creek wine dinners. Redacted has been keeping up her old piano and is playing entrance music for them whenever possible. We continue our other social activities like the neighborhood.
This is exactly what I would do. 100%. If Yeah, I would send this out. I would send out a letter next week that said, by the way, we saw your little video. It's so cute. Enjoy not getting anything in the will.
Cul-de-sac Friday happy hours when the weather cooperates. Redacted carries on with his jazz group, and they play for neighbors at our local spots. They even got to sit in a session with Tucson Jazz Society for a performance of Brother John's Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue in Tucson for a Sunday brunch. Holy shit, alert the press. They also recorded a demo tape to help promote themselves to the local venues. Our guest room is lonely. We'd love some company. And it's tough to beat the Arizona winter. What do you think? Should I go visit? Maybe they could give me one of their fucking condos.
Can you get on TikTok online? Like just on your computer? You can. Let's see. This would be them or her, I guess. I'm curious if they've replied to this. Like, have they done another? I hate that I keep saying they, but you know that I'm not. Oh, but this might be it. I'm sorry you're miserable. That's rough. I don't think it's going to let me.
This video has reached the densest audience on TikTok, so I'm going to explain this for you all one time exactly.
Please,
and you better hope the algorithm finds it and enlightens you. They are rich.
Okay.
Don't keep up with anything going on in the world, and neither do a lot of you in the comments. They spend their money on themselves and are dirty landlords. I hate all landlords, even the ones I'm related to. I am middle class and donate a fuck ton of money. I'm also.
Who do you donate your money to? I'll guarantee you that it is to Act Blue and any such NGO like it.
So an unemployed activist who makes no income. My husband makes good money. I'm also an unemployed activist who makes no income. My husband makes good money. He is an.
Jail, jail, jail. Let's find out what the husband does. Also, lady, stop picking at shit on your face.
Engineer. And his family was rich, like we've gone over, so they set him up pretty well. We have chosen not to live off the rich family because we don't agree with their ideals. This might come as a shock to you all, but there is a very large difference between people with money who choose to remain ignorant.
Hey, engineers, for the most part, I know that make decent money, right? And for the most part, engineers are relatively intelligent. How is this engineer so retarded to have married this?
And send out newsletters and own property when there are homeless people all over the United States and people with money who choose to give it away and educate people online. I'm the latter.
Then give me some of your fucking money. How about that? Do we have another reply? Is it this one? Here's another one. I was hoping for a little more. Oh, is this a reply?
I think this energy is why you will stay where you are. Thanks, Stephanie. I do live in a $500,000 home with 2 cars. I don't have to work because my husband's an engineer. I have a doctorate, 2 kids, and 4 animals. So sick. Thank you for the tip. It's like you all couldn't see the kitchen I was in when I was reading that letter. Did you think I was in an Airbnb? No, I'm fine. In this energy.
This person votes. This person's vote counts for the same as yours and mine. She is, according to herself, a highly educated individual. She has earned a doctorate in something. It could be anything. And she has the audacity to tell us that she is better than us because, wait, how do you know she's not a citizen? This entire thing, all of this just breeds, I want more people watching me and more people thinking that I'm good. Exactly what Clyde said. When donating, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Oh, you're saying, okay. I see what you're saying. This woman is a fucking retard. She has the audacity to be angry at her her in-laws, her husband's family, for being proud of their success. She has the audacity to live off of their success and her husband's success, be an unemployed jackass, a leech on the system, and then complain to you and me that other people are succeeding where she isn't. That's all this is. She's probably unemployed because she couldn't get a damn job. I don't even want to see this shit anymore. God, I'm sending this to Jay. There he is. This and then her follow-ups on TikTok. Easy 45 minutes tomorrow. Yeah. Sorry, Lily. But, I mean, he might not. He might just say, thanks, Caleb, and move on. Oh, okay. I want to talk about this. So we've all seen the Somali bullshit. We've all seen everything going on in Minnesota. We've seen the Nick Shirley video. I think Jay went over it 2 days ago on Welcome to the Rebellion, which I unfortunately missed because I had to work. Stupid job. But Eric, again, I don't know how to say his last name, Doherty. And he shared this video from Josh Gearstein, who is a reporter for Politico. And this guy said, at some point, the amateur effort to knock on doors of home daycares intersects with robust stand your ground laws. There is not a single stand your ground law in the United States of America that would allow you to shoot somebody for knocking on your door. Not a single one. And there sure as hell is not one that would allow you to shoot somebody for knocking on the door of a business. This guy's a fucking idiot. Pardon my French. Lily, thank you for that. I still don't know if it's going to be up much longer. I'm a little embarrassed by it. So I don't know if I may take it down soon. I'm not sure. If it blows up, maybe I'll leave it up, but I don't know. I'm a little embarrassed by it. Exactly, Hokies. Exactly. Josh Gearstein. And Sean's right. That doesn't matter at all because Minnesota does not have stand your ground laws. And ICE has now accused this guy of inciting violence. Oh my God, this is even better. Josh Gearston is the senior legal affairs reporter for Politico. He should know the difference between stand your ground and duty to retreat. Oh my God. These people don't care. They don't care what the truth is. All they want is to sit there and say whatever they want to say. They don't care if they're right or wrong. He went to Harvard. He graduated Harvard in 1921. Oh my God, he's a fucking idiot. Liberalism, man. Of course, he's on Blue Sky. And that's it. You know, these people, if these people would start getting fired from their jobs for being wrong, instead of just having to print a, you know, I'm sorry I was wrong on page 30 of whatever document or whatever newspaper they're in charge of, more people would get in trouble. More people would be correct more of the time. But no, because no one ever gets punished for their blatant lying. And I'm not even talking about when you post something that you're just kind of wrong about, or you missay something, you're inaccurate in one little area. I'm talking about the people that actually go out of their way to just lie, because they know even if they're caught, all their editor will do is print a retraction on page 9 that no one will see. It's the same thing we see on Twitter. You'll see these, you'll see like NBC report this big anti-Donald Trump thing. It'll get, 250 million views. And then at 2 a.m., they'll post oh, hey, we were actually wrong about this. This is what it actually means. It'll get 2,200 views. And no one does anything. Oh, hang on. Because I don't know what we'll see on Twitter, so. All right, I do want to look at this. So this, what is it? Is this? Okay, so this is a MAGA account that's based in Europe. So we already know probably not a legit American or anything. Okay, but this person, and you know what? Let's check. Hang on one second, because I believe this is actually pretty old. NMAHC. Whiteness. Yeah, aspects and assumptions of whiteness. Yeah, so this is 5 years old. Okay, guys. And of course, she or it, I'm sure it's some Indian dude. In case you missed it, the Smithsonian Museum put out a list of bad white people traits. I wonder if that'll get nothing. But this, this is one of the things that the Biden Smithsonian did. What's up, Elite? I don't know if y'all are going to be able to read this. I can barely read this. White dominant culture or whiteness refers to the ways white people and their traditions, attitudes, and ways of life have been normalized over time and are now considered standard practice in the United States. And since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, we have all internalized some aspects of white culture, including people of color. One of these aspects is rugged individualism, which is a big deal, apparently, because that dumbass in New York City who just got inaugurated last night, or I guess technically this morning, said that we are going to remove the rugged individualism and insert the collectivism or something like that. What did he say? I think I bookmarked it. I did not. Mumdummy. How do you say his name? Or spell his name? I can't search NYC mayor. What the hell? Yes, thank you. Mumdummy. There we go. I can't search anything on Twitter right now. What the hell is going on? Okay, we're going to take a quick pause here. And we're going to look at this. So this is the inauguration.
I'd like to dedicate this poem to my trans, queer, foreign students of color at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I'd like to dedicate this poem to my
This just proves that no matter how much we win, the devil is still out there. This bullshit is still there. We have to take it and ram it so far into the trash that it never comes back out. I can't get it any higher. This is what he says. I'd like to dedicate this poem to my trans, queer, foreign students of color at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. University of Tennessee, Knoxville. What am I looking for? Demographics. The UT Knoxville demographic reports. The overall diversity is below average. The racial ethnic diversity is below average. And the male-female diversity is below average. Black African-American makes up 4 to 5%. So he's dedicating this to a minority of a minority, of a minority, of a minority, of a minority. What a fucking idiot. Can you imagine what, if this is how I get now, can you imagine, oh, is this it? Here we go, this is it.
Be closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it.
Rugged individualism. You know what? I want to see what Google will tell us what rugged individualism is. A core American belief emphasizing self-reliance, personal responsibility, and minimal government intervention, suggesting individuals succeed or fail based on their own efforts, rooted in frontier history, but now debated for its potential to cause isolation and undermine collective action. You know, you want to know something? You want to know what made America great? You want to know what still makes America great? The fact that we know that at the end of the day, whether or not we succeed is based off of whether or not we are willing to do what is needed to get what we want done. You want to own a home? You need to save up money for that home. You want to save up money for that home? You need to stop eating out. You need to stop going to Starbucks. You need to save up money. Stop buying Legos. Stop wasting electricity so you don't have a high electric bill. That's what you need to do. To sit there and say, in the city that rugged individualism built from the ground up, to sit there and say that collectivism is how this country moves forward, that we need to rely on the will of the government or the will of the mass people or the will of this group of people to succeed is bullshit. You know what you need to succeed? A belief in God and a belief in yourself. That's it. That's all you need to succeed in this world. Now, whether or not that level of success is going to look like Donald Trump or it's going to look like the father of two with a loving marriage that's able to put food on the table, but maybe doesn't get to go on a cross-country vacation 3 or 4 times a week or a year. You know what? They're both great successes. They're both great levels of success. And one of those is what every 3-year-old wants to be, and one of those is what every man, once he passes 25, understands that a successful life is. All this guy wants is for the government of the United States and the government of the states and the cities to be in complete charge of what you do on the daily basis. And it's complete bullshit. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Happy New Year, Sundowners. Happy New Year. Man, Discord is going off for me. Wow. Ooh, nice. Damn. Indiana beat the shit out of Alabama. Holy shit. It's exactly what he wants. Oh my gosh. This is what I want to see more of. Let's see. Share screen. There we go. That's what I want to see. This was the bicentennial. Look at that. I think that says Budweiser, Sears, Roebuck and Company. That's what I want to see going down the Avenue of the Americas in New York City. Oh, look, the old Georgia flag. Yeah, he hired the attorney for Saudi Arabia to be his what is he? What job did the guy get? Ramzi Kassim, who served as the policy advisor for President Joe Biden, was an attorney for an anti-Israel campus protester, Mohammed Khalil. He works at SUNY right now. Yeah, he's a professor of law over there. But what is the job? He was the lead defense counsel for Ahmed al-Darbi, a Saudi Arabian national and al-Qaeda operative, convicted by a U.S. military commission in connection with the 2002 attacks on the French oil tanker Limburg. Kassim and his students have represented 15 prisoners held at Guantanamo Bay, Bagram, and other facilities. So he wasn't. He did defend 9/11 attackers. He defended other terrorists. Not that it's much better. Oh, damn, Sean. I did not know that. Yeah, my goal in life is to see the tricentennial. I can die on July 5th, 2076, but I want to live to see it. That would put me at 81 years old, 81 and a half, I guess. The chief bomb advisor. That's fucking funny. Wow. So apparently the block party for Mumdummy didn't have food or bathrooms. Oh, how about this? Did y'all hear about this? The San Francisco mayor has signed a bill to give black residents $5 million in reparations, but allocates $0 to the initiative. You know what? Let's find out about this bill. Let's do a little bit of legal research. San Fran reparations bill. Let's see. They call it the reparations plan. Maybe that's the name of it. Now, how about this? Tulsa's mayor has a $105 million plan to help descendants of the 1920. Oh. Shut the hell up. Tulsa's mayor has a $105 million plan to help descendants of the 1921 race massacre, but don't call it reparations. Republican Club praises Democratic Oklahoma mayor's conservative approach to reparations without taxpayer funds. 1921. You'd have to be 104 years old, 105 years old to have been alive during that. There's probably 8 of them on the plan. Tulsa's mayor is pushing for $105 million private trust to give descendants of the 1921 Tulsa. Okay, I don't know what the Tulsa Race Massacre is. Does anybody? What's up, Breezy? The Tulsa Race Massacre was a 2-day-long white supremacist terrorist massacre that took place in the, I'm reading Wikipedia, that took place in the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Between May 31st and June 1st, mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city government officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses. The event is considered one of the worst incidents of racial violence in American history. The attackers burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood. Wow, that's crazy. At the time, one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States, colloquially known as Black Wall Street. More than 800 people were admitted to hospitals, and as many as 6,000 black residents of Tulsa were interned, many of them for several days. The Oklahoma Bureau of Vital Statistics officially recorded 36 dead. The 2001 Tulsa Reparations Coalition examination of events identified 39 dead, 26 black, and 13 white, based on contemporary autopsy reports, death certificates, and other records. The commission reported estimated ranging from 36 up to around 300 dead. Wow. Let's see. It began during Memorial Day weekend after a 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, a white 21-year-old elevator operator in the nearby Drexel building. He was arrested, and rumors that he was being lynched spread. 1921, yeah, it's possible. The most widely reported and corroborated incident or inciting incident occurred as the group of black men left when an elderly white man approached O.B. Mann, a black man, and demanded that he hand over his pistol. Mann refused, and the old man attempted to disarm him. A gunshot went off, and then, according to the sheriff's report, all hell broke loose. Jeez. That is fucking crazy. I did not know about this. Yeah, this says that the massacre was largely omitted from local, state, and national histories for years. Yeah, shit. See, this is the thing. I think across the board, reparations are a bad idea. I think it was a bad idea for the Treaty of Versailles to force Germany to pay reparations in 1918. I think it was a bad idea to force Germany to pay reparations in 1945. I think it's a bad idea to force a country to pay for war, to pay for crimes, because all you're going to do is continue to punish people who had nothing to do with it. So now you end up having people who have never been responsible for anything related to this Tulsa massacre. Same thing with this San Francisco bullshit. You end up having people who have never been responsible for slavery paying for the sins of their grandfathers and their great-grandfathers. It's complete BS. This should not happen. Now, this guy, the San Francisco mayor, at least does say that not 1 cent of taxpayer funds are going to this. I mean, they don't have any. It's they're in $1 billion budget deficit. They have no money to pay for this to begin with. It's insane. I'm not going to read it, but that's pretty funny. But yeah, so this, I was kind of hoping that there'd be a little bit of fun stuff to talk about. Let's talk about this. Let's watch this. So at midnight last night, or no, I guess this morning, the Washington Memorial was lit up as a candle to America. Hey, wait. You got me. Send me something. Let me see this. I'm not pulling that up again. That profile picture is fucking terrifying. Oh no, what the hell is going on with Twitter? Let's look at this. He's replying, or he's talking about something from dude. Okay. All right. let's look at this for a second. All right, this guy has got. Let's close that just because I don't want anything going. This guy has got way too many tabs open. Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't find anything on. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. I'm gonna have to find like a weird way of going around this. Um. Real quick, because I saw it, y'all have to see it too. Oh my god! All right, let me see if I can find this. I'm trying to find. Why don't I exit Twitter and open a new one? Maybe that'll fix this search thing. I think it did. Okay. No, it didn't. Wait, this is the different dude. There we go. Trying to find the thing that Matt is talking about. Let's see. Nope. Because the tweet that that Gunther Eagleman has that he's commenting on, it shows the map. And I want to look at this map. But he also keeps playing the fucking grift game and keeps retweeting the same stuff over and over. So it's kind of hard to find sometimes. There we go. Yeah. Great happy news day to start the year. So almost 4,000 daycares in a 20-mile radius around Boston, with a fourth of that being water. Viral map drops bombshell. Nearly 4,000 daycares crammed in a 20-mile radius around Boston, Massachusetts. Clusters of condos, apartments, and homes mysteriously registering as licensed daycares, many in dense residential spots with 0 kids in sight. This screams massive fraud, theft, and money laundering on our tax. And look, this is right. This is absolutely right. But the problem is let me change that. The only concern that I have is I don't believe Nick Shirley is going around and fucking shit up. I don't believe that Nick Shirley is going to, him personally, is going to do any physical harm to anyone. Obviously, these reports are going to ruin a lot of people's pocketbooks in a very good way. But the only thing that would concern me is there are people who are going to end up trying to go to all of these locations that don't have intentions of actually just figuring out what's going on. And Wiley is right. This could easily be a trafficking issue. Cities are the number one location for the FBI ran a sting. Let's see if I remember this. I learned about this in high school. The FBI ran a sting in the 90s and found that Atlanta, Boston, and Vegas were the 3 most traffic friendly, and I'm not talking about traffic with cars, were the 3 largest cities that were human trafficking friendly because of I don't remember why Boston got it. If I remember correctly, it had something to do with their big dig thing they were doing. You know, that road project Boston has been working on for, what is it, 35 years now? But all of these cities that have, I mean, these are safe houses. They're not daycares. They're safe houses so that people can smuggle people in and out of this country. Yeah, the big dig. Twitter's telling me that I have a message on Twitter, but I don't see it. All it tells me is I have a conversation that's been upgraded. I don't know what that means. Let's see what Matt's talking about. So the other thing I would be concerned about this is because it's the same kind of thing I have. My only little caveat on this stuff about what Nick Shirley's reporting with the Minnesota ones is we're talking about daycares in a time of the year where, in my understanding, children are historically home. So, like, Nick Shirley went out there, 3 days ago, right? And I would not have been shocked not to see children in a daycare. Now, if it was January 20th, it would have surprised me. Ooh. Weeks ago? Okay. Okay. Sean, I'm good then. Awesome. I haven't, oh my God. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay. So who told me about the Matt dude? Somali. I'm just gonna share this. I don't think he'll yell. I don't think I'll get in trouble for this. So he's talking about this daycare or this home health center thing that is in Minnesota. Let me see if I can back it up a second. The Grace Care Center LLC in Minnesota. So one of the funniest things about web design is salami, not Somali. One of the funniest things about web design is when these web designers or these companies that you can go in and like make your own website, what they do is you can design your homepage, and then they're like, do you want any links? And you're like, yeah, I want links down the right side that say dental care, hospice, all that kind of stuff. Well, first off, it's weird that they've got multiple dental care shit. But what's funny is the other thing they do is they'll throw in giant text blocks that are in just Latin. This is Latin. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet consequetur. It's Latin. And that's how you know this is a fake website. But I think that's hilarious. What's he saying? I muted it.
Gobbledygook, goopy slop.
Yeah, it's Latin. I love it. It's hilarious. But yeah, this shit is. I want to look up the Iran stuff. Yeah. So apparently, and look, here's the thing. The West, and when I say the West, I mean the New World, is different from the Old World for a whole lot of reasons. But one of them is the people that live here, the people that are native to here. And when I mean native, I mean that have lived here for more than 100 years. All right, that's a native to this area. If your family's been here for 100 years, you are native. This is a different race of people than people that live in the Old World. We are just different, okay? We are rugged individuals. European is collectivism. They love their kings and queens and shahs and military leaders. That's what Europe is. And honestly, I think the biggest mistake Europe made, first off, one of the biggest mistakes of European history is the French Revolution. But I think it is clear to me that Iran needs to bring the Shah back. France needs to get rid of this dumbass presidency they have and bring back the king. But which king? Do you go with a Bonaparte or do you go with a Louis? Which one? Because there's one of each. You've got someone from the House of Bourbon. You got someone from the House of Napoleon. It is a big shit show. But it is absolutely worth fighting for. Do not black pill. Do not go easily into that good night. There is good in this world, and it is worth fighting for.
Shield keg, let's go.
Hang on, I want to mess with Mo for a second.
Yeah. Here you go.
We can come to us. Or are you guys going upstairs?
Here you go. Right here.
Throw it. Yeah.
What is that? Isn't there like a really? Because it's been a long time since I've watched it. Isn't there
Bruce
Megatron, your pirates?
a really
shoot,
big quote from Hoosiers?
Uh-oh.
Here's that sniper, by the way.
Okay, let's go with this one.
People up here at this location.
So, because Alabama lost, I'm going to be nice to Mo because he is a bit of a Hoosier.
Sorry. I'm standing in your way.
Damn. Hang on. Let's get rid of the commas.
They're at the building. I have no long range.
Now, if Mo doesn't remember what this is from,
Nailed him. Oh,
then I get to steal his Hoosier
I want
card
to get
forever.
this house, this blue house. Just
let's go.
Fart.
Am I playing audio? That's fine.
Huh?
Mo's not gonna copyright me. I guess the only thing left is for the ETs to reveal themselves. They even single piece of toilet paper on the planet will be gone. No, I was being a bad YouTuber. Okay, let's go back to the fun stuff we were talking about. I don't think he got it. Big mistake. Big mistake. The European Union is dumb as hell. Okay, I'll ask him later. I'm interrupting my stream. All right. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for a year of American exceptionalism. Why can't I hear it? Oh, hang on. It's quiet. It should pick up in just a sec. But for now, I don't know if I'm right about this. If someone knows the truth, let me know. But from like 7 p.m. through midnight for the whole year, things are going to be projected on the Washington Monument. Videos telling of the story of America. We conquer, we must, and this be my motto. In God is our trust. See, I've always said that we really messed up by using the first stanza of Star Spangled Banner. We should have used, I think it's the third stanza. Let me check. No, the fourth one. Only through January 5th? Okay. So the first stanza, oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light? That's the one we use. But the fourth, this is the one I think's the best. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, and God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. I've always said that that is what should have been the national anthem. Yep. And see, this is the thing that I think should make all of us angry. Okay. So we know, let's rewind 2 months. Okay. We know that that 25% of all FHA loans, that's 3.5%, were given to H-1B visas. I have seen countless FHA loans here in South Carolina go to people who can't even speak English. It's deplorable. Now let's fast forward to this. We have now seen in one state alone. Now we are hearing about it happening in Boston. We can assume it's happening in California and basically every state. Billions of dollars gone, just laundered, and almost all of this. No, I won't say almost all of this. I think a decent amount of this would fix itself if we would start taxing remittances. We do not tax any money that leaves this country to go to a foreign bank account. Why? Why don't we tax it? Tax it at 3%. Juan wants to send $1,000 back to his cousins. Let's take $30. Is that right? It's $30, 3% of 1,000. Times, what is it, 0.03? Yeah, $30. Let's take $30. Well, you know what? Fuck it. That too. But the fact that we don't do any is insane. Well, Lee, you heard about this, right? All of the breaking and entering stuff was smashed from the inside out. It was all an inside job. Everything that, like, all the damage, the escape tunnel was, or not the escape tunnel, the way they got in, they broke it from the inside. Sean, I get what you're saying. Like, I understand it. But the problem is you have got 50 million people in this country sending money out of this country to other countries. This is not you sending, $200 to your friend in France. This is Juan and Muhammad sending. You know what? I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to guess how much. How much money was sent out of the U.S.? I don't think I'll get the 2025 number. In 2024 in remittances. I'm sure I spelled that wrong. India alone, $129 billion. $129 billion. Mexico, $64 billion. We make up, remittances from this country make up 5% of Mexico's GDP. That's a problem. So we got a candle. Is this going to show the story one? Okay. So let me see if Rapid Response posted it. All right. One thing I am going to say, okay, I am going to criticize Trump on this. Okay. We are now 345 days into Donald Trump's first term, or second term, I guess, technically. It is time to stop blaming Joe Biden. Okay. Unless we are going to arrest Joe Biden, which we know we can't, unless we are going to arrest Joe Biden and put him on trial, or arrest other people and put them on trial, it is time to move on and fix the problem and leave the legacy that you fix the problems and then support whoever's going to replace you. I'm done with it. I'm tired of seeing Biden be blamed. I don't need to be reminded that Joe Biden was an incompetent, dumb fuck who didn't know what the hell he was doing. And he was being run around by the cabal and staffers that wanted to take bribes to free people. I already know that. But continually to blame the previous administration is going to do nothing but make you look bad, in my opinion. Let me see if I can find this. I think these are just the fireworks. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Photos look pretty good.
The wonders of the modern.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. This 17-minute video, I don't necessarily think that we're going to watch all of it. Sean, are you saying that the reason he keeps blaming them is so that they won't forget, so that Biden supporters and the liberals won't forget that we know and that it's their fault that stuff went bad?
America. The New World. Our nation began.
If I just play this, do you think they're gonna copyright me? Do you think we have a letter from Donald Trump that says that's mine?
Not as an idea invented in the minds of men, but as a land discovered. When Christopher Columbus looked west across the endless ocean, he sailed for glory, for gain, and for God. 3 ships traveled into the unknown, daring to go where no man had gone before. What they discovered,
Hey, a little bit of Star Trek joke there.
Changed the course of history. They carved homes out of the wilderness. By the sweat of their brow, they built a new world.
American individual exceptionalism. Huh.
Rooted in the European civilization they left, but infused with the spark of liberty. In time, that spark grew. Galloping through the midnight darkness, Paul Revere warned the colonists that the hour had come to choose. Freedom or tyranny. Liberty or death. With the shot heard round the world, a ragged band of patriots challenged the mightiest empire on earth. Starving, outnumbered, and outgunned, the Americans had little reason for hope. But General Washington kept the flame alive, leading his soldiers through the frozen misery of Valley Forge against all odds.
So I read something on July 4th for all of us. There are a bunch of things that I read. One of them was obviously the Declaration of Independence. But one of the others was called The American Crisis. It's a pamphlet that Thomas Paine wrote. Thomas Paine is the author that I would credit with starting with or popularizing the American Revolution. So prior to Common Sense being published, no one really understood why we should break away. Because the rich people hadn't really taken the time to explain it to the common man. The common man liked being English. They liked being an English citizen and a member of the most powerful nation to ever come out of this world. And Thomas Paine wrote Common Sense, which was a pamphlet that basically criticized the English crown and decisions made by Parliament and the English crown. And it laid out, it was basically the American 95 Theses. It laid out the points that the American public had, the issues that they had with what the crown had done in ruling the colonies. And so he writes this in 1774, I think. It incites the Sons of Liberty into all sorts of actions. And then in April 1775, April 16th, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. On a quiet green in Lexington, Massachusetts, American patriots fired on English soldiers coming to take and steal their weapons so that they couldn't be fired on. And obviously, everything came out of that. Well, 1776 rolls around. Our founding fathers meet in Pennsylvania, at the Pennsylvania State House, and they signed the Declaration of Independence. And this is a huge point for Americans. It gives us something to fight for. It explains to us and to the rest of the world why we're doing this. But defeat after defeat after defeat. Washington loses a lot. He really does. But he loses in a way that he's able to maintain his army. He retreats before he loses his armies a lot. And his men are about 2 weeks away from being done with their enlistment. He's about to lose 2/3 of his army. He's got about 2,000 men able to fight right now. It's December of 1776. And he asks Thomas Paine to write another thing, another Common Sense, to reinvigorate this force. And Thomas Paine writes The American Crisis. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. Britain, with an army to enforce her tyranny, has declared that she has a right not only to tax, but to bind us in all cases whatsoever. And if being bound in that manner is not slavery, then there is no such thing as slavery upon earth. Even the expression is impious, for so unlimited a power can only belong to God. Whether the independence of the continent was declared too soon or delayed too long, I will not now enter into as an argument. My own simple opinion is that had it been 8 months earlier, it would have been much better. We did not make a proper use of last winter, neither could we, while we were in a dependent state. However, the fault, if it were one, was all of our own. We have none to blame but ourselves, but no great deal is lost yet. All that Howe has been doing for this month past is rather a ravage than a conquest, which the spirit of the Jersey a year ago would have quickly repulsed, and which time and little resolution will soon recover. What Thomas Paine is saying there is that it is easy for us to take for granted something we've always had. It's something we've always had here in this country, not only even going back to the Great Depression. We've always, the vast majority of us, we don't go hungry. You know, I'm sitting here and I've said fuck 30 times tonight. I've said things that in maybe more polite company I wouldn't say, but I do not have one iota of fear that stormtroopers will break down my door and arrest me. We take this too much for granted. It's too easy. It's impossible for the government to take advantage of us. We're Americans. And for the vast majority of people, that's all they see. That's all they know. Yeah, they read about these stories about communism when they're in high school, but they don't see it, so they don't understand what it really means. But then you get someone that comes here from that world. You know, there's a video that went around probably a decade ago, maybe a little bit more, of this guy that got out of Cuba. And he landed in, somewhere in Florida, and, goes through all this stuff. And about a month later, he finally makes it to a Walmart with the family that's like sponsoring him or something like that. And he breaks down in tears at just the amount of excess. Think about it. Anything that you want, for the most part, I can go over here, as long as I have enough money, I can buy it, and it'll be at my door in 2 days. For the most part, there's a couple things that might take an extra week, but for the most part, Amazon's going to get me whatever I want within 2 days. And it's so easy to take that for granted and to forget just how incredible it is, but how easily it's lost. It's lost when we take it for granted. These soldiers that were on these barges crossing the Delaware on Christmas Eve and then recrossing it a week later to go attack Princeton. Their life was so much harder than my life is, than any of our lives are. There isn't a person alive today in this country whose life is as difficult as the average American colonist in 1776. They do not exist. And if anyone tells you they do exist, they're lying. Someone that has 3 jobs doesn't have a life that's harder than the average American in 1776. It's just not true. We stand on the shoulders of giants. He's about to list out, I don't know who's who's speaking in this video, but he's about to list out some names. And I get really excited about one of them. I'm gonna go back to playing this real quick.
With the aid of our allies like France's Marquis de Lafayette, Spain's Bernardo de Galvez, and Poland's Tadeusz Kościuszko, America won one of the greatest military victories the world had ever seen. By the hand of Providence and the strength of determined men and women, the United States of America was born. And with her, words that echo throughout eternity. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
That we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable
that
rights.
All men are created equal. That they are endowed by their
I got that
Creator
wrong.
with certain unalienable rights.
Among these are life,
Among these
liberty,
are life,
and the pursuit of happiness.
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Kosciuszko. Thaddeus Kosciuszko. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. You know, this is the kind of thing that I would be happy to give $20 out of my paycheck to help fund. These kind of things. Why have we been allowing just regular white lights to light up the Washington Memorial for 120 years? Why have we not been projecting awesome American history on this memorial?
The Founding Fathers had built a nation upon the principles of our Declaration of Independence.
You're not wrong.
And the foundation of our remarkable Constitution. A government conceived in liberty.
That's John Jay. He's the first Supreme Court justice. He's also the only Supreme Court justice to ever be impeached.
Liberty. That derived its just powers
from the consent of the governed.
From the consent of the governed.
This is so cool. I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
A burning torch of freedom that would rise across a continent. And one day, shine its light upon the entire world. With perseverance, faith, blood, and courage, the 13 colonies have become the 13 united.
Sean, I think it was, yeah. Oh, wait, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wasn't impeached. No, you know what? I don't think he was convicted. I think he was impeached, and then he resigned before he could be impeached, before he was convicted. Am I wrong about this? Shit. Samuel Chase. Okay. So John Jay was the first Supreme Court Chief Justice. I think he was the first justice to resign. Just resign. And then, yeah, Samuel Chase was the first to be impeached. Wow. See, this is one of the reasons why I like doing this shit, is because I relearn stuff too.
States of America. But destiny beckoned our young nation to even greater heights. Like Columbus before them, settlers looked west to the lush forests of the Deep South, the rich soil of the Ohio Valley, the frozen lakes of the untamed North, and beyond, past the mighty Mississippi, to the Great Plains.
This is so cool. Anyone that thinks
like
this is a waste of money is a fucking idiot.
Eager to be crossed. Safely separated from Europe's wars. President Thomas Jefferson purchased the vast Louisiana territory from France. Overnight, the United States doubled in size, adding millions of acres stretching from New Orleans to the snow-capped peaks of Montana. To explore this new territory, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark were sent to chart a path through the remote frontier. They set out on a perilous journey. For over 2 years and nearly 8,000 miles, the expedition endured brutal
I think I
winters,
forgot it was so long.
starvation, impenetrable terrain, and dangers few dared to face. Yet as they pressed on, they discovered the wonder that is America. Thunderstorms racing over the plains, the Rockies reaching to the heavens, plants and animals unseen in the old world, and at long last, the glory of the Pacific Ocean. Inspired by their courage, pioneers rode west in covered wagons to claim their stake in America. Families and adventurers, farmers, cowboys, miners, missionaries, each one driven by the timeless yearning to build a future by the grace of God and with their own two hands. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, blessed by God, completed her journey across the wilderness, extending her domain and forging the character of a people destined to shape the world.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that I think is kind of funny about Twitter in the last couple, 2 weeks. There's been a whole lot of suddenly all these really pro-European Twitter accounts that keep talking about how America really doesn't understand how much we don't like her anymore and things like that. And it's I don't think there's a real American alive that ever cared what y'all thought of them. I don't give a shit what France thinks of America. You want to be upset with Americans? Okay. We're going to dig up the people that died there and bring them back home. Storm.
In the beginning, before the engines roared, before the seas rose, America was a storm. All restless, crackling with energy. Benjamin Franklin harnessed the young inventor named Thomas Edison toiled with wires, glass, thread, and metal. Until at long last, mankind deceived. With light came the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Americans began inventing miracles that transformed humanity. For millennia, mankind had moved by horse and foot until Ford perfected the automobile. Mankind
Ford perfected interchangeable parts. I'm not sure I would say Ford perfected the automobile. It's just me, but
crafted with our hands until Americans revolutionized the steam turbine, the electric motor, and the internal combustion engine. Mankind built with wood and bricks until American workers lifted high-towering giants of concrete and steel. Industry gave birth to great American cities, monuments to American ingenuity, cathedrals of American ambition. From this mighty industrial engine came the arsenal of freedom, the ships, planes, and tanks that allowed heroic American soldiers to rescue the world from tyranny in 2 world wars.
during World War II, this is one of the coolest stats of all right, assembly line, sure, but let's be honest, the main reason that Ford was so successful at the beginning was because the parts were interchangeable. Like, he perfected the use of interchangeable parts in vehicles because what's those 2 companies over in Germany still used handmade, and Ferrari still uses handmade to this day. So interchangeable parts and the assembly line. But one of the coolest stats that comes out of World War II is every 9 hours, a destroyer rolled off, or I don't know if it was a destroyer, a Liberty ship, whatever the Liberty ship was. World War II. It's a class of ship. It was a cargo ship built. So every 9 hours, one rolled off the assembly line. Every, I guess, roll pushed out of dry dock. Every 6 hours, a B-25 rolled off the assembly line in Dearborn, Michigan. That's incredible.
And to defeat the communist menace through the long Cold War.
That's the debt.
And strength and sweat. Our forebears built the freest, proudest, most prosperous nation the world had ever seen. And today, high above our city streets, the skylines still bear the mark of their handiwork. A testament etched in steel and stone, forever recalling our glory as Americans. We are a people who never stop building, never stop climbing, never stop dreaming, never stop striving for greatness. Our nation was forged not by fate, but by the unbreakable will of the citizens who call this land home. With our genius and industry, we built the wonders of the modern world.
So cool.
And our greatest works are yet to come.
It's really too bad that he didn't have them paint on that he didn't have the light. Hang on, let me see if I can get back to it. That he didn't have the lights on the Empire State Building spell out Trump. That would have been beautiful.
On a windswept beach in North Carolina,
Here we go. Kitty Hawk.
two American brothers prepared to transcend the laws of physics. With a sputtering engine.
So one of the things I love about this, I think it was a tweet. It was. Okay. I need to try to see if I can find it. I think it was. Let's see. Um, there was a thread a couple of days ago talking about air power. Let me see if Gronk can give it to me. Quoted tweet. Said me too big. Okay, let me see if this will get it. Because this was hilarious. It's thinking. So someone tweeted something about like air power or something like that, and someone replied saying that basically America rules the air. That America is the airplane creator of the world. And there were a bunch of quote cheats basically saying, "No, it's not. You're just an American idiot." The two big airplane groups or organizations in the world are based out of Canada or something like that. And then there were some community notes, and one of the community notes was glorious. And if I can find it, I want to pull it up. I wonder if I bookmarked it. Nope, that wasn't this. Nine. No. Nope, I can't find it. Unless Grok can pull it up, then it says it's fetching the thread. Oh, Hokies, my browser history is so freaking deep. This thing was probably a week ago. And it might have even been on my phone. But it could be on my likes. Let me check my Twitter likes. I like a lot, but I might be able to find it. You can probably hear my mouse scrolling. Okay, we're up to Christmas. Um, no, that wasn't it. Damn. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna give it like another 2 minutes. If I can't find it, I'll explain what the thing that was funny about it. So the thing that was really funny in the end was that the quote, the community note said that the only contribution that America made to flight was powered lighter than air flight, which, if you don't know, is a fucking airplane. So the only innovation that America made to flight is flight.
And the handmade craft of canvas and wood. The Wright brothers lifted mankind into the sky. In the clouds above, the world grew smaller, and America grew greater than ever before. But for the United States, the sky has never been the limit.
Here we go, NASA. Saturn V rocket. Arguably the coolest thing in America has ever built. There is more memory in my iPhone than was used in the entirety of the Saturn V history.
Within 66 years, a single human lifespan.
God, think about that for a second. How crazy is that? If you were born in 1900, say 1890, so that you're 13, 1903 when they did at Kitty Hawk, wasn't it? Yeah, 1903. So you're 13 when the Wright brothers do their first manned flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. You are 79 years old when a bunch of metal leaves this planet carrying 3 human beings, 3 Americans, 2 of which I believe were from Ohio, and lands on the moon. It's insane.
American astronauts broke free from the Earth, stretched their hands through the endless void, and planted the stars and stripes on the face of the moon.
Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Damn right.
America brought mankind into the space age as we took our place among the stars. A new revolution began here at home. Computers born in a Pennsylvania lab opened a new frontier. Americans linked the world with the internet, putting the light of knowledge within reach of
Yeah,
all.
you know, Al Gore did this.
We pioneered new technologies and new industries, sparking the greatest explosion of prosperity the world had ever seen. Now we stand on the threshold of yet another frontier. Artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing. America is once again forging the future and shaping the centuries to come. The pioneer spirit of the American people brought us across oceans, established a nation in liberty, drew us across a continent, and raised us into the clouds. It still beckons us to begin new journeys of discovery, daring us
Freedom
to once
Tower.
again dream the impossible and imagine the wonders waiting among the stars. And perhaps someday, our descendants will plant the American flag on distant worlds, carrying the light of liberty to the farthest corners of creation, reminding all generations that for the United States of America, there is no frontier too far, no dream too bold, no horizon.
This music's definitely going to get maybe not taken down, but copyright. Freedom 250. 250 years. I can't wait to be here for 300 and laugh in the faces. When I doubt I'll be here. And let's be honest, if I'm still doing a YouTube channel at 80 years old, something has not worked out. I think we can all agree with that. I think if any of us are doing a YouTube channel at 80 years old, we fucked up our glory, our golden years. Maybe not. Maybe we all just love doing this in 50 years. Who knows? But I don't know. I think I would be surprised if Sean, that's a good point. Or something worked out very well. Lily, this is on the Rapid Response 47 page on Twitter. Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it. We didn't really hit on anything that I was really planning on talking about tonight. The Minnesota stuff is just I get too angry thinking about it. Because I look at my paycheck every single payday, and I look at all those taxes coming out of it, and seeing this stuff makes me go, you know what? How much more money would I have if y'all didn't need to take all this money to pay for your fraud? How much money would we even have fucking taxes? It makes me so angry. And then when I get angry, I don't speak very well. Not just like swearing. I get flabbergasted very easily when I get very angry. Probably not something I should say, but oh well. Guys, thank y'all so much. I had a blast. I don't think I can raid. I'm pretty sure I can't. I cannot. I do have to actually be monetized. I thought I just needed the subscribers, but nope. But I hope you all have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow. I might go live. Honestly, it's going to depend on what time I go to bed and what time I wake up. But I might go live again tomorrow, probably after Welcome to the Rebellion, at which I'll probably text Jay and be like, hey, can you raid me? But we'll see. I don't know. Y'all have a great night. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year. Have a great 2026, and I will see y'all throughout. Peace out. Oh, wait. Do I have an ending? I don't think I do have an ending. I think I just kind of like